Here's a question that has an element of fear and reality attached to it. It says, how do I test my project viability? Is my idea profitable? Would anyone really want to buy it? Okay, I can hear a mixture of fear and, like I said earlier on, a little bit of realism there too. But let's answer the question. Let me say this first. Remember that as you go on in your research, your idea is likely to change. Right now, your vision should not change, but the way you go about achieving your vision could change. For example, you could have planned to sell your services to over 25s, but you may discover that actually it's the over 50s that really want your product. So that's the kind of change I'm talking about. So now, how do you know whether your project or your product or your service is really going to work? Well, another thing to say, to remind you of, is that people don't buy products, they buy what products can do. So remember that as we go on to answer the question of viability. The first thing and the most important thing and the only way that you can know for sure whether your project will succeed or not is to go out and find out. Nobody can really sit down and tell you that, oh, your project will work unless you are talking to the client group that actually need your product or service. And the only way you're going to be able to determine whether you have a viable product or service or not is to go out and find out. Go out and talk to the potential client that you believe should be able to purchase your product or you believe should be interested in what you have to offer. That's where you start. That's the only way you can know whether you really have a viable product or not. You cannot sit down in your house or your office and just think, oh, because the idea is great to me, therefore it's going to be a winner. The other thing, of course, is that what problem or problems can you solve? Remember what I said earlier on, people don't buy products for product's sake, they buy what the products can do for them. So the more problems your product solves, or the more important the problems your product can solve, then the more likely you are to actually succeed in business. And finally, it depends on who you can reach, and we're going to go on to some other things when we get to the next lecture. So I'll see you in a moment.